Hey, what's going on, guys? This is AndrewChicken, and welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to be playing some Maldamba, not really due to the requests of any particular viewer. It's totally unrelated to the events of yesterday's thumbnail either. We're just going to be playing some Damba today and trying out Ripened Gourd, which is a talent that you're not really supposed to use. Compared to Spirits Chosen, it's pretty bad, and there are many reasons for that. On paper, it seems like it might actually be better than Spirits Chosen, right? You double the healing output of your gourd? That's crazy, right? Well, I'm going to explain kind of throughout the gameplay today why you don't go Ripened Gourd. Unless you have like 4 tanks or something. Like, you basically never really have a circumstance where you want to pick this over Spirits Chosen. But first, let's talk about the build. So we are going to be going for a gourd spam build. If you don't have many gourds 5 in your build with Ripened Gourd, then you're kind of just throwing. Like, if you're going to build for the gourd talent, then you gotta have this card in there. But then we also have Venomous Gourd and Pungent Gourd, which I figured we'd try out today, just as extra benefits around our gourd. Then we have some filler cards with health and elimination, cooldown reduction. So let's grab that. Let's of course grab Chronos. You must always go for Chronos. And I think you'll already notice, just based off our team comp alone, part of why Ripened Gourd is not that good. It sucks when you have flanks on your team, because flanks like Eevee and Vora, when they fly around, well, they're not going to be standing in your gourd now, are they? So, like, if I throw this over here, well, that's not really going to help Eevee, and, well, also our Mako completely dipped and went to the middle instead, and I'm getting sniped by Strix, so, yeah, that's the first major issue. It's just like, yeah, a lot of my teammates just aren't going to be getting healed nearly as much as they should. And even you see there, down there on the Makoa, the gourd wasn't, like, keeping him alive that well. He was still taking a lot of damage. And now he's dead. Uh-oh. Oh, God. Alright, so I'll kill you. Oh, gosh. Oh, I cannot hit that Eevee to save my life. Let me throw a gourd over at Vora. Maybe it'll help. Okay, it did help a little bit there, actually. But yeah, another very big reason why you don't normally go Ripened Gourd is because it doesn't do damage. The gourd does damage, and even though it's subtle, right, you don't really notice it that much in a fight, it does actually add up. It is pretty significant, especially like if you're in a duel with a flank who's in close quarters and standing inside your gourd, or when you just throw the gourd at the point to heal your tank, you also deal damage to the enemy tank. Like, literally, well, just a second ago I could have been dealing damage to the Fernando, and I wasn't. So, that's another reason why you don't typically go Ripened Gourd. The third reason is generally it's just better for survivability's sake anyways to go Spirits Chosen, because of the cards that you have. So you have like damage reduction cards and healing cards whenever you use Spirits Chosen that you can stack in there, and you can also give people movement speed with the Spirits Chosen, or with the Mending Spirit, same thing, with the card. And while you can also do that with the gourd, the fact is it's simply better on Spirits Chosen, because that movement speed stays with them. With the gourd card, obviously it's only during the gourd. So, like, if I throw this at the Makoa, he's getting that movement speed, but as soon as he steps away from the gourd, it's gone. Like, oh, well, no more speed for you. Oh, come on, hit the Eevee, there we go. Barely got her. Let's peek you as well. There we go. So yeah, basically the buffs just stay with you, and then also the cards for Spirits Chosen lend themselves more to your survivability than actually going gourd talent. So there are a lot of reasons why you don't go gourd talent. Despite all that, we're winning. I think it's because our flanks are really popping off right now. Vora's just killing a lot of stuff. I'm going to throw a random gourd up there, and hopefully it'll help Eevee. You know, I'm just going to route back here entirely. Tame! Here, have this gourd. Oh, goodness. So silly. So when would you ever actually want to use this talent? Obviously, like I mentioned at the start, you have situations where, like, you have 4 tanks on your team. You might want to pick up Ripened Gourd then. But then if you have 4 tanks on your team, you have your own set of problems. So, you know, it's very niche of action. So, we're going to fear this guy. Hopefully get a stun on him as well. Actually, it's completely unnecessary. Well, here you go. Have this gourd. There we go. Also, I can kind of understand the case that, like, if your aim is just totally garbage, like unbelievable magnitudes of horror, beyond what should be perceived by any human, then yeah, maybe you want to go for it, because you just aim it in their general direction. And then you get some heals. But that's not really a great excuse to use the talent. That's an excuse for you to get better at the game. That's not really an excuse to pick this talent. You'd want to improve your aim instead. There's just really not a lot of cases where you'd actually want to use this. And even though we are still winning this match right now, my flanks are noticeably struggling on the healing, compared to if I were to just go Spirit's Chosen and pop a right-click on them. So, yeah. I kind of feel bad for them. They're also not getting kill to heal. They definitely should be getting some kill to heal. Kill to heal is insane right now, but they are doing a really good job, though. Like, they are doing an amazing job of killing the DPS. I didn't even realize they had a Sati, I'm gonna be honest. So, yeah, these guys are doing excellent, and they're making up for the significant lack of healing that I am bequeathing upon these lovely individuals. Yeah, here you go, take this. I'm going to get another gourd out here for our Makoa. There we go, he should be chilling. Taking some damage here from the Strix. I'm just going to back out, and hopefully we'll be okay. I'm going to give you a gourd. Which, I guess also can kind of lead into another reason why, generally Spirit's Chosen is more flexible, is it has a shorter cooldown. Even with many gourds, excuse me, even with many gourds, the cooldown is still 6 seconds at base, as opposed to Hallow. I believe it is a 3-second cooldown at base on Mending Spirits. So, you know, if you throw your gourd at one person and then they leave, well, you've just kind of wasted that ability. And you won't have it back for a significant amount of time, as opposed to if you just right-click somebody and then they don't need to heal anymore. Well, 3 seconds later you can, oh, come on, Vor, peek me! But 3 seconds later you can just pop a heal on another person. So it's very, very flexible, Mending Spirits. Give another right-click to our Dredge. And then I'll throw a gourd back at the point. I feel like Makoa's going to take a lot of damage here, so let's just keep him alive. And I got another Fear, so we can drop that down. Kind of throw it at somebody, maybe. Oh, we actually slammed the Eevee. There we go. And yeah, look, we could have been doing, I mean, at least a few hundred damage there to that Fernando through the shield. The gourd damage does actually pierce shields, because it's on the floor. You stand in it. You can't really block it with a shield. So that is another thing to kind of keep in mind with gourd damage that you're lacking with this talent. So I guess that kind of does call into question, like, what would I do to make this talent better? What would I do to make it a genuine viable option? Well, one very easy consideration is like, well, what if instead of getting rid of the damage, you doubled the damage of the gourd? So that way you got double of both the benefits. So you still lack on the flexibility of Mending Spirits in the sense that, well, you can't just throw a right-click on somebody, have it last on them for 4 seconds, and, you know, just have a really good, consistent, reliable healing output. What if you just double down on the gourd, and all of a sudden you have this Juggernaut that can heal for a bunch and do damage for a bunch? So you throw that at the point, your tank is getting really good healing, and you're also actually doing, at that point, a considerable amount of damage to the enemy tank. I don't know what the numbers would math out to, but I assume it would be equivalent, roughly, to like a Tyro Fire. Maybe that'd be too strong. I don't know. But it is just a thought. Another, Sir, please. I'm gonna just throw the gourd on myself. I'm scared. Oh gosh, I might be dead here. Yeah, I'm dead here. Okay. But yeah, another option, instead, if you don't want to go about buffing the damage, is just maybe having an innate cooldown reduction on the gourd. So, you know, you have to run many gourds, of course, and you probably still will want to run many gourds if you were to reduce the cooldown on the talent. But what if you added like a 2-second cooldown reduction to the talent? Well, then all of a sudden, with many gourds 5, you would be down to a 4-second cooldown on the gourd, which would be comparable at that point to a Mending Spirits, which is a 3-second cooldown, so it'd be 1 second longer. Well, then you'd actually have much more reliable healing on the gourd. And while you would still have the problem of it being a circle that's really bad for anyone who flies and really bad for flanks, you'd be able to pump those out really, really consistently. So maybe that's the option. Maybe that's what you do. There are many options you can consider to make this talent better, definitely. Or you could do what some people probably want to just get rid of it entirely and replace it with that talent that lets you do damage on the right click, because there's like a cult following around that talent, and personally I never got it. I never really cared for that talent back when it was a thing. I much preferred Stun Dumba. Always have. Oh, he didn't shoot, so I didn't dodge anything. Yikes. Well, we'll stun him. There we go. Dredge has got my back. Let's get a gourd at the point. Let's try and wrap up this game here. It looks like we are gracefully winning this match. Let me throw down another gourd. Oh, you're dead. Alright, there we go. Here is another gourd. Makoa's just got to stand in. There we go, there's the victory. So yeah, we won entirely because our DPS were doing an insane job. I mean, props to them. They were destroying everything, and they even had my back when Buck came to flank me. That is what a good DPS should do, so well played to them. We were able to get 117,000 healing there. Yeah, I actually wonder why their Furia got so little. 43,000. I guess probably she was just dead a lot. She died the most on the team. my flanks were probably just killing her too hard. Look at Evie, 18 and 3, 68,000 damage. I'm proud of you. Crystal, I don't know if you watch my videos, but that's a job well done. But yeah, I mean, you can definitely kind of extrapolate from this healing number that a lot of it was on the tank, right? We had a Pluck Makoa, which meant he wasn't really shielding all that often, so he was taking a lot more damage. And also he had Rejuvenate 3 for my Gourd, and of course the Gourd was mostly thrown at him. And because the Gourd heals so much, he was getting really good healing. Like, I'm sure our Makoa actually probably loves my healing. But yeah, our Eevee and our Vora had to basically be self-sufficient. Like, there was barely any healing left for them. I was giving them a few Mending Spirits here and there, but it was a Mending Spirit without the initial big burst. And also bear in mind, Mending Spirits in the Dawnforge update did get buffed by 100 healing per Mending Spirits, which over time adds up to thousands of extra healing per Mending Spirits. And when it comes to the initial burst, especially when you're healing out of Cauterize, it really does add up. And I guess that's yet another consideration that kind of goes into Mending Spirits' favor, is that when you're in late game, if you have a split second to heal someone back up, Mending Spirits is better for that because of that initial burst on the ability. You get about, what is it, 435, 500, like close to like between 400 and 500, something like that. I don't remember the exact number. But you get that up in a split second versus, well, you get about 100 per tick on the Gourd. So if you have like one tick to get healing to somebody, yeah, Mending Spirits is better for that. So hopefully this video kind of broke down why Mending Spirits is simply better than Ripened Gourd. Even though we won quite handsomely, it was not really my doing there. Yeah, it was really our flanks putting in work. And yeah, it's just kind of a breakdown of like why Mending Spirits is more reliable, even though on paper it does seem like Ripened Gourd does more healing, and indeed it kind of can be the case if you're just pumping your tank full of healing. You know, it doesn't mean that it's best in the grand scheme of things, in the grand picture. So yeah, if you guys have enjoyed this video and you thought it was helpful, of course make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload from me. Make sure to check out the Twitch channel and the Discord server, both of which are linked in the description down below. And with all that being said, thank you guys for watching. I will see you all next time. Peace out.